Hey everyone, Vernon B. Williams the fifth. Hey, I hope you're having a great SC2. I just want to commend you and congratulate you for choosing success and choosing yourself. Some of you may know my story, a lot of you probably don't, but my fast start 10 years ago, I only sold $250. And then my first summer, I sold $527. And one of the reasons why is because I didn't go to any conferences. So just the fact that you were here, you were light years ahead of where I was when I first started 10 years ago. So if I could give you any extra tips, I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but repetition is the mother of all mastery. So you want to take a lot of notes. There's a saying out there that knowledge is power. It's actually the implementation of knowledge is power. So not only do you want to take notes, what you actually want to do is you want to plan time in your schedule within 48 hours, 72 hours at the max after this push or after the conference, and you actually want to go over your notes. You actually want to put in like 60 to 90 minutes, and when you're going to study these notes, all these notes that you just took, and you want to highlight your top one to three takeaways. Trust me, you don't want to be that rep that has notebooks upon notebooks of just pages and pages of conference notes and never look at them again. That's wasted money. CPO literally on the table or literally in a notebook. Okay, so you want to treat this as like your vector class where you literally block out 60 to 90 minutes of when you're going to study these notes. You're going to highlight your top three takeaways, and you're going to start to implement those couple of nuggets. And then when you feel like when you got those, pretty good, you feel confident with those one-liners or those mindset, those new ideas, then go back. Maybe 3 months from now, you do the same thing. I want you to take notes on all these talks as if you were giving these same exact messages in your offices next summer or at the next event. So I'm going to be talking to you really about raising your average order, bigger packages and wish lists, $1,000 wish list, all that great stuff. And I'm very humbled and blessed and honored to be giving this talk. There are great CSPs giving talks at this conference who have sold way more than me, not only in their career sales, but in a year's time and even in a month's time. My biggest push is sometimes their average pushes. So, I look up to the CSPs in our wonderful region here, and they're like my big brothers and big sisters. So I really appreciate being a part of such an amazing group. So let's get into it. I want to share my screen. Let's just have some fun. All right. So like I said, I'm going to be talking to you about raising your average order. Okay. Oh, I do not want to do that. This is the button I wanted to press. There we go. Okay. Anyone can be a CSP. Okay. So the first step I want to give all of you is set up a Google Calendar. I love Google Calendar. I know a lot of CSPs and managers use Google Calendar, but whether it's Google Calendar or a paper calendar, just set up some kind of calendar that just organizes your life, especially with those of you going into school or you have another job, you have a family. You have to have this calendar. It's going to help you in your business and life. And then the next thing I would say, just a random tip here, is you want to make a Google spreadsheet or an Excel spreadsheet for your customers, specifically for the wish list. So when I'm running a sale or anything like that, I'm actually making a wish list or a spreadsheet of I have their first name, their last name, their cell phone, their email, maybe their address, but for sure, like any notes from when I talk to them and what's on their wish list. Imagine if you have all your customers and you know what their wish lists are. So the next push that you're in, you can call them and say, hey, Mr. Jones, remember when I told you I was going to make a wish list for you? And I told you, the next time these items will go on sale. Well, guess what? They're on sale, right? And I'm in a big contest. So, we're able to make these specials for you. So I wanted to show those to you. Okay. So this first part here, I want to talk to you about closing on bigger sets and what a CSPs like to call the options close. All right. So when we are closing on sets, we're not just closing on a homemaker set. We're closing on the ultimate, the signature, and the homemaker set. And I'm going to show you exactly how we do it. So I want you to take a lot of notes. And if you feel like you missed something, just ask your manager, and we can help you through it. So the first thing is if you haven't seen Luke Maseko's video, and by the way, if you see me looking up, I have my notes right here, okay? So I want to make sure I give you the right information. I don't want to be a smooth talker. I want to give you the right information. So whether or not you are familiar with Luke Maseko's names and uses video, go back or continue to watch that and implement that for the names and uses of the homemaker set. He does a great job, so make sure you watch that. Maseko is spelled M as in Mary, I-S-E-Y-K-O, okay? Luke Maseko. So as you do the names and uses, that's what you want to do. So now when you are on page 6 of the vector demo, oh, thought I already had to pull that, so we're just going to pull it up. Oh, my vector demo. There we go. There we go. Okay. So what you want to do when you're on the manual, when you are on page 6, let's scroll down. Okay, page 6. So basically right after it says that, you know, it's important to have the right tools for the right situation, right situation. Instead of saying, you know, this part right here, right after this, what you're going to say is, so I'm going to show you our 3 most popular sets, starting with the basic set, okay? So right after safety and efficiency, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you our 3 most popular sets, starting with our basic set, which starts with your paring knife. And then you do your names and uses, your names and uses for the homemaker set, you know, the same as you're doing now, but watch Luke Maseko's video and do the names and uses that way. So after you get to the table knives, all right, so after you get to this part, and then you're basically on this part right here, then you say, okay, great. So, you know, that was our basic set. The next 2 sets are called the signature or the family set, and then the ultimate or complete set. Both of these sets have all of the basic pieces that I just showed you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick video of some of the highlights in the family set and the complete set. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to YouTube and just type in Cutco customer requested pieces. Okay, and this is really cool. So there's going to be 2 videos that you show them. All right, this is going to blow your mind. It's going to be great. So you just play the video and say, all right, Mr. Jones, so this cheese knife, by the way, I just like to call this the super trimmer. This is the best one for your tomatoes, potatoes, cheeses, smaller onions, but you can only use it on Sundays because it's a holy knife. All right, ha ha ha, okay? Hey, Mrs. Jones, do you guys like to barbecue? Do you cut sweet potatoes, partially frozen food, summer sausage? Okay, you are gonna love this Hardy slicer. It's a nice, smaller, heavier knife, but it's great for those smaller, heavier foods when you don't wanna grab like your big butcher knife. And it's kind of like a serrated chopping knife. It's really cool. Then we have this everyday chopper. The reason why we came out with this, Mrs. Jones, is because people that had the bigger petite chef in the basic set just thought it was too big. So they wanted Cutco to come out with a smaller one. So that's why we have this one. It's kind of cute, right, Mr. Jones? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So those are the 3 pieces that's in the family set. These next 2 pieces, it's in our complete set, all right? So this knife right here, we like to call the thin slicer. It looks like a bread knife, but it's a straight edge. It's a straight edge knife. So this one's even better for cutting watermelons because you don't have to hack through it like you may still with the butcher knife. So look how easily he's cutting through there. Watermelon's usually really tough, right? As we mentioned earlier, yeah. So he's cutting it into wedges here. Now watch this. This is my favorite part. Look at this. You can literally fillet the melons right off the rind. How cool is that, Mr. Jones? Just make sure you move your hand just like he did. Otherwise, your watermelons will look extra red, okay? All right, so this is great. I talk to my customers all the time that have this, and they absolutely love it. So again, you can slice your cantaloupes into wedges there, and with the flexibility, just fillet it right off the rind. Just imagine cutting your watermelons like that every day for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Pretty sweet. Now this knife too, again, is in our complete set, one of the highlights in a complete set. How tough is it to cut squash? Yeah, super tough. So check this out. This vegetable knife is great. All you're going to do for, say, spaghetti squash is just cut off the end, just like he did there. And by the way, I mute the video, right, so that I'm talking over it. And then all you do, Mr. Jones, you can grab the knife by both ends and literally just push straight down. and now you cut squash in seconds. Imagine cutting squash in seconds for the next 20, 30, 40 years, okay? So those are some of the highlights of the complete set, Mr. Jones. And then I wanted to show you one other knife that's in a complete set. So then what you're gonna do is just type in Cutco raw meat knife, okay? Or Jason Jeffrey, okay, raw meat knife. Now, and then what you wanna do is skip to 206, all right? So hey, Mr. Jones, you guys probably cut raw meats, right? Trim the fat off meat, cube up pork, chicken, and steak for like tacos, stir fry, fajitas. Yeah, okay. This is the best raw meat knife that we make. Reason why we made this is because in the basic set, there's actually not a raw meat knife. So they were using some of the smaller like double D-edge knives, and it would be fine, but they just wanted something to cut even faster. So just check this out. How cool is that? All right. And then what you're gonna do is fast forward to where like right around this part, like about 349. Back it up just a little bit, like right there. So Mr. Jones, also what we did is we actually did a side-by-side test with the trimmer and the boning knife. So he's using the trimmer right there to cut through raw meat. It's doing a good job, you know, it's the trimmer, but it takes the trimmer about 10 to 12 strokes to cut through the raw meat, while it took the boning knife literally 1 to 2 strokes. So that's not just twice as fast, that's literally 10 times faster to cut through raw meats. And Mr. Jones, that's exactly what happens when you have the right tools for the right jobs. That's why people love our complete set, because it's your complete set of knives. And that's basically all I do when I show like those pieces right there. And then what you want to do right after that, you know, when you are say, you know, when you're screen sharing, now we're on like the Cuckoo Demo, then I go to the set options right here, and then I just go to the homemaker. But then I say, cool. So you remember the basic set we just talked about? Great. So all the basic pieces, all the pieces in the homemaker set, like I said, they're in the family set. And then you get the hearty slicer, the petite santoku, those shears, which are great, or the cheese knife, which is great, and those shears, which are amazing. And then all these pieces are also in the complete set. You just don't get the smaller chopping knife. But if that's something that you want, you know, we could probably make that into a deal for the complete set. So the complete set has everything else, plus that vegetable knife, that melon fillet knife, that boning knife, and then you get some other cool pieces like a smaller bread knife, bigger paring knife, and this cleaver for like frozen foods. Okay. So hey, Mr. Jones, just curious. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, just curious. Knowing that Cutco is American made, rated #1, completely guaranteed forever, and knowing that you'll never have to buy knives again, which set do you see yourselves getting the most value from in your kitchen over the next 20, 30, 40 years? Would it be the smaller basic set, the medium family set, or would it be the bigger complete set? And that's what we do. And we let them choose. We let them choose what they feel is going to be the best set or the best value for what they do. Excuse me. And then as far as closing, you close the same exact way. So if we go back to the manual here, and then, you know, you can still show like the entertainer pack. You can still show, you know, like the storage options and all that. But then, you know, you can just go right to page 8 and go with the summary. But then whatever set that they choose, that's going to be the prices that you're going to use, right? So if they choose a signature, you're not going to use the homemaker prices. You're going to use the signature prices, right? So if you're like, okay, well, how do I get those prices? What if they choose the ultimate or the signature set? Well, you could do it a couple ways. One, if you go back up to page 1, where are you? It's page 2. Yeah, page 1, you click page 1. Then the price list will pop up right here. And you can put this in like a separate tab, right? So you can save this, but then you can find the prices of the ultimate and the signature set on here. Otherwise, I have them right here for you too. So the ultimate set is $27.39 in full. or about 583 for 5 months after tax. Now that's Wisconsin tax. Okay. So if you're not in the great state of Wisconsin with the Green Bay Packers and the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm sorry for you. But talk to your managers about the 5K with the tax. And then the signature set is $19.95 in full or $425 for 5 months after tax. So that's how we do options closing. Okay, so let's go back to my handy dandy PowerPoint here. Okay, so the wish list. Basically, all it is for the wish list. Here's what we do. So if you're still newer, like $10,000 in sales and younger or less, I should say, then do the wish list after you close them on a set of knives or a few knives or even nothing, right? If you're like $15,000, $20,000 in sales and you feel more comfortable, you can actually start the wish list with the set of knives. So talk to your manager and you can decide for your own business which way you think is going to be best for you. Okay. So when I present the wish list, all I say is, all right, Mr. Jones. So what I love to do with all my customers is make a big Cuckoo Kitchen wish list of all of their favorite things. Of like anything and everything you could see yourself getting with Cuckoo, whether that's now or the future for yourself or as a gift. Okay. And of course, at the end, I'll tempt you with a great deal or I'll tempt you with a sharp deal, right? But whatever you don't get, I'm just going to keep on your wish list for later on. So when it goes on sale, next time I'm in the contest, I can give you a call. Sound good? Okay. By the way, I didn't warn you. So my wife and I just moved. So when you see like all this stuff, it's because we like just moved. All right. So this is my office. So in the midst of my push, like we literally moved places. Okay. So don't judge me. All right. So that's that. So the wish list is fun. I tell Mr. and Mr. Jones, so just imagine going into your favorite store and a sales associate comes up to you and says, all right, cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to walk around the store. Or let's say you're on Amazon or your favorite store's website and a sales associate pops up and says, hey, while we're cruising on the website, whatever you see something that you like, whether it's for now or the future for yourself or as a gift, just let me know and I'm going to write it down and you can keep a note of it too. And then when you're done looking and done window shopping, I'll just show you what our different packages and specials are. And if you get something great, but whatever you don't get, we'll just keep on this record for you. So when it goes on sale, we'll just shoot you an email. Does that sound good? Perfect. Awesome. Let's go. Let's have some fun. And then for each slideshow that you do, you just ask them like, you read the manual, you tell them about it, but then you just ask them like, hey, is there something you want to put on your wish list, right? If you want to be just a little bit faster, especially when it comes to like cookware and flatware, you could just ask them right away, like, hey, are you in the market for cookware? Are you in the market for flatware? If they say no, you can move right along, right? Or you can quickly just give that 20-second spiel that they have in the manual for cookware, and then just ask them before you kind of like show the video of the cookware, like, hey, is this something that'd be on your wish list? If they say yes, move forward with it, right? Show them the video. If they say not, move past it. So you literally just go through every page in the Cuckoo demo, and you're just asking them, would you want this on your wish list, right? How many would you like? Would you want this as a gift? Do you have a second home or an RV? Do you have like a winter home or a summer home? Do you have a fifth wheel? Would you ever consider getting Cutco into there? What special occasions do you have coming up in the next couple of years, right? Even though with the pandemic going on, do you have any weddings? Do you have any wedding showers? Some of my orders over the push were for wedding showers and wedding gifts, even for people getting married, next year, right? Hey, Mr. Jones, why pay more for the same product? The only thing that changes about Cutco is the price, right? Might as well put it on the wish list, okay? So that's really all I do with wish lists. And then I'm kind of running out of time here, but we do these things called package deals, and maybe when you get higher in career sales, we can dive more into detail with this, right? But really, all it is when you have like a big package or when you have a big wish list, all I do really for package deals is package one is like everything, okay, like everything on their wish list, okay. Package two is just some of it. And then package three is just their bare bones. So to keep it very, very simple, let's say their wish list was, a signature set, a set of cookware, a few place settings of flatware, and like some gadgets. Okay. So package one is going to be literally everything. Okay. Package two would be, all right, Mr. Jones, hey, would you do knives and cookware first, or would you do knives and flatware first? Right? Like, well, we'd probably do knives and cookware first. Cool. So package two will be like knives and cookware, right? You know, with the gadgets, because that's like smaller stuff. And then package three is the bare bones. So I'm like, okay, Mr. Jones, I would assume out of all this, you'd probably start off with the knives first, right? Okay, sure. So then package three is the signature set. The reason why that's really cool is because the lowest ticketed item on there is the signature set. So just imagine you basically have like a Cutco kitchen and like, you know, this is great. We like package two, but I think we're just going to start off with that signature set right now. That's still pretty awesome, right? I don't know what the CPO is, but it's pretty dope. The signature is $1,900. It's probably like, I don't know, 1,500 CPO. I don't even know. What does it say here? Like, yeah, like 1,800 CPO or something like that, right? It's pretty awesome. So, and if you don't know how to use the whiteboard on Zoom, definitely learn how to do it. I would try it right now, but I'm afraid I'm going to mess it up. Okay. So, but you can write it down on your piece of paper with them. And then you can have them get a piece of paper so they can write it down as well. Okay. So, because I think if I do, I think my screen may stop sharing. But just use that whiteboard example. And then when you break it down, let's say package one, how I price everything out, right? I do retail value, Cutco's price, and then Vernon's price. So the retail value is what everything would be piece by piece. For example, the retail value of the homemaker set is $1,540, right? Then Cutco's price is $1,326. Okay. And then like your deal or your price could be, you know, the entertainer pack for free, the super series for free. Maybe you bonus a couple of those table knives for free. You know, when you had those like first weekend specials, you can talk to your manager about that, right? Where maybe you could take like $80 off the top by bonusing 2 table knives, right? And then, you know, with that Vernon's price or your price, have fun with that. Okay. So that could be your scholarship special, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, like super crazy deal, right? Now for me, okay, now this I can only a few people could do this, all right? So I have like the retail price, Cutco's price, and then the HBO special, okay? And then I would ask Mr. Jones like, hey, do you know what HBO stands for? Every time they're like, I don't know, home box office. I'm like, close. It's the Help a Brother Out special. Oh, and they lose it every single time. Oh man, it's so great. They laugh. I'm like, yeah, I'm like the only one in the whole division that can say that, right? But they laugh. I still have customers today. Literally, they're like, Vernon, I want that HBO special, right? I think Sherry and Gary say that. So have fun with that. And you do the same thing for package two. You do the same thing for package three, okay? And then obviously the easy pay. And then you just let them choose, okay? So, hey, Mr. Jones, you're Mr. and Mrs. Jones, these are your packages. And then you explain it, right? Package one is blah, blah, blah. Here's what it is, retail price, Cutco price, and then my price, right? My scholarship special, my SC2 special, my, whatever, whatever special, or Mr. and Mrs. Jones crazy deal special, happy day special, this is what it is. And you do that for each package, and then all you do, you just ask them, and you're having them write it down, or you could do it on the whiteboard, okay, on the Zoom whiteboard. And then you just ask them, one, does everything make sense? Cool, awesome. Well, hey, which one do you like? And that's it. And you let them choose, right? So if they choose like, yeah, let's do package three, then great. Package three is like just a signature set. Now, if they say, if they say, well, man, I would love to do this, but none of this is going to work for me. Like, yeah, no problem, Mr. Jones. Let me just show you some of our smaller starter sets and see if any of those appeal to you. If not, we have a few piece options that'll work for you. Sound good? Or that could work for you. Sound good? Awesome. And then you just do the normal drop down process. Okay. But you start higher, you'll land higher. Okay. Start higher, you'll land higher. And that's exactly what the dropping down process is, okay? Dropping down and selling Cutco isn't something you do to the customer, is what you do for the customer. I tell customers right up front, I'm your Cutco kitchen consultant. My first and foremost priority is make sure you have all the right tools for the right job, and just make sure that Cutco is maximizing your needs and wants in the kitchen. I am on your side, Mrs. Jones. I'm not trying to just get a quick sale and dip out, okay? I'm not just a one-knife stand, okay? I'm your Cutco kitchen consultant, all right? So based off what I see, based off what you tell me, that'll tell me what could be great for you based on my experience, okay? Then there's a thing called dropping up, all right? And then this is my last thing. I might even be over time, I'm not sure. So dropping up is simply this. Let's say they pick package one, okay? But you could tell, right? Or package 3, I should say. So the package 3 is the lowest package. But you could tell that they could probably go for one of the higher packages, all right? I'll give you an example, quick example. Rachel Kepper, all right? So package 1 was like the whole Cutco kitchen upgrade. I think she had a homemaker set. So it's an ultimate upgrade with cookware and flatware. Package 2 was maybe just the flatware and cookware, or the upgrade and cookware, and then package 3 was just the upgrade. So I turned it to her, or I just showed her. I'm like, cool, Rachel. So, you know, which one do you think that you'll like? And she's like, I mean, yeah, I'd love to do all of it, but I think I'll just do package 2. I'm like, cool, awesome, virtual high five, right? You got to do the virtual high five. Awesome. Welcome to the upgraded family. You're going to love it, right? We're just building rapport. I'm getting my Cutco orders app ready. And I'm like, hey, Rachel, just curious. How close do you think you were to package 1? Like, oh, you know, I was pretty close. Okay. Well, hey, and you probably heard this from Fonz, you know, because this is his clothes. Okay. He probably actually got it from me. No, I'm just playing. So, okay. Well, hey, just curious on the first package, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being like, well, yep, let's go ahead and get it today. 1 being like, Vernon, there's no way that this is going to happen. Where do you think you're at? And she's like, you know, I'm probably at like a 6 or a 7. Like, okay. Well, how about this? Since you're at a 6 or a 7, you're closer to a yes than you are to a no. You love Cutco. You obviously love me. And I'm trying to break a record this year, right? You're eventually going to get this anyway. The only thing that changes about Cutco is the price. It only goes one way. If I did something a little extra special for you, just put the cherry on top. This is already a great, huge deal. But if I did something a little extra special for you, would you maybe possibly go for the first package? And she's like, maybe. What do you got? I'm like, okay. Now, before I show this to you, are you saying that if it's pretty good, you'd possibly go for this? Like, yeah, if it's good, I'll go for it. Okay. Then I did something a little extra special. So for you, that's call your manager, right? Call your manager. Did something a little extra special for her, and boom, she got package 1. So she went from, you know, the ultimate upgrade with cookware to the rest of it. Okay. And then, like, I remember my brother that sold Cutco, and his customer was basically locked into a homemaker. But I remember earlier, because Jeremiah called me, right? I was his manager. He called me and said, hey, Hati, that's what he's called. Okay. Hati also was interested in the flatware. So when we closed Hati on the homemaker, I said, hey, Hati, I remember that, you know, I think Jeremiah said you were interested in flatware. Cool. Well, hey, how many place settings of flatware were you looking at? He said 4. I'm like, cool. Well, hey, just so you know, because, you know, Jeremiah's in his fast start, you're good friends with him, and you're already getting the set, we could do a buy 3, get 1 free deal on the 4-piece place settings. So it was 4-piece place settings, right? So that would bring it would go from this to this. What do you think? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it, right? So that's what we call dropping up or up serving, not upselling, but up serving. Okay. So that's what I got for all of you. I know that was a lot, but hey, this is a sharp group, and you know, go Team Red, right? So look, like I said, out of all the notes that you're taking from this breakout and this conference, you want to go back, you want to study all your notes for like 60 to 90 minutes. And you want to highlight like your top 3 takeaways. Like, you know, feel free to like take notes on top of your notes. Like, oh, I really like this. I really like that. Let's circle that. Let's start that. Like, I definitely want to do this. But then really just hone in on your top 3 takeaways and then start to implement that little by little. Because what you don't want to do is take all these nuggets that you're getting from the CSPs and managers and then all of a sudden change your demo tomorrow. It will blow up. Okay. You do not want to do that. You just want to do like one line at a time, or like one new video at a time. And as you get comfortable with it, you feel really good about it, then you can start to add on the next thing. All right. So I hope that that you got value from this. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your focus and intensity in your implementation. And go ahead and finish the summer strong.